Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn about the kinds of noun. Okay, so now let's begin with it. There are famous five kinds of noun. So now we will start with the first one, the proper noun. Now about the proper noun, I have seen that some of the students are bamboozled because of the tricky methods of teachers. Or you can say they say that the name of a particular person or thing, okay, but rather I say the particular name. You can say, okay, the particular name of a person. You can see that I have written that uh, the definition, the real name, okay, the original name of something or someone, okay, whether he is particular or not, that's not the matter. The matter is the proper name, the real name, the original name of someone, okay. So remember this now. A person is a particular or not, but still he has a name, okay. So remember this. So proper noun means the real name of someone, the original name, okay. So you can see that uh, the examples here. Javed is a real name of someone, okay. Pakistan is the real name of our country. You can say Pakistan is the real name of a country, original name. Nokia is a, you can say, a real name of a cell phone, mobile, original name, okay. In Karachi is the real name of you can say largest city in Pakistan. So it is a city name, real name, original name, Karachi. Okay, so these are the examples about the proper noun. Now remember this once again. I'm telling you, okay, that the original name, the real name of someone or a place or a thing. Okay, don't go to those junks that the name of a particular person or this and that. No, simply I want to tell you in simple words so that you understand it very well, that the real name of something or someone is called a proper noun. Now let's go to another noun. I mean the common noun. The common noun, you can say, is the name of something that is commonly known. You can say the name is known by everyone. For example, a person comes, from America or any other country here, okay, and he sees a man here, okay, so he sees us. For example, he sees me, from afar, so he will say that that is a man. Although he doesn't know my proper name, you can say real name, but he knows. So common nouns are like that. They are known by anyone. For example, if I see a tree, okay, anywhere, you can say whether it is Pakistan, India, or America, any other place, but I will know that it's a tree. Okay, although I don't know the real name of that, but I know it's a tree. So that is why it is such names are called common nouns, because they are commonly known by everyone. Although they don't, for example, if I see a dog, okay, somewhere, so if I don't know that it is called dog in English, but I will give a name to it, in my language, you can say native speaking language. So it means that everything has a common name, whether a person speaks English or any other language, but he knows that common name about anything, any person. Okay, for example, if someone sees a woman, so although he doesn't know her real name, okay, proper name, but he will say that that is a woman. Okay, so exactly there are many examples like this. You can understand very well. So you see. Because of the shortage of time, because of the shortage of place, I have written, that you can say short, you can say, or half definition. But you can see the definition now. The common name of something. The common name of something. It means the name that is known commonly by everyone. So this is called a common, you can say, noun. You can see the examples. Man, okay. Now man is known by everyone, okay, but Javed is known by his familiars, you can say. And a country everyone knows, but Pakistan is a proper noun. You can see the that difference between a common noun and a proper noun. Man is a common noun, but Javed is a proper noun. Country is a common noun, okay. Can be any country, okay, because it is common. But here Pakistan is a proper noun. Now mobile, there are many. So you can say, if I said that I have a cell phone, I have a mobile, okay. So then you ask what kind of mobile do you have? So I have a mobile that Nokia. So now I give it a name. It has a name. So you see, this is a common noun, mobile, Nokia, proper noun. City can be any city, okay? Because for example, if someone passes by us here, from our city, you can say, then he will see that it is a city. Although he doesn't know the name of city, but he knows that it's a city. Okay, no problem. Okay, no matter that if he speaks, says the name of that city in his language, but he knows that it's a city. So here you can say the difference. The city, the proper noun is Karachi. So there are many examples like this. And you can say when it comes to the trees or animals, so they are actually common nouns. The dogs are everywhere, and you can say cows are everywhere, and trees are everywhere. They have species, but they don't have you can say real names, original names. Or you can say, if I name a dog, a dog is a, you can say, common noun. Okay, it's a common dog, but when I give it a name, that name becomes a proper noun. For example, if I say that that Tommy, doggy, or you can say that those Indian movies we have seen that like the Sheru, I don't know many names actually. So those are proper nouns. Otherwise, when it comes to the animals and to the trees, they are just you can say common nouns, although they have species. Okay. So this is all about the common noun. Now let's come to the abstract noun. Abstract nouns are those nouns, actually those things which are connected to the mind. They don't have a physical existence, or you can say bodily existence. We cannot touch them, okay. We cannot steal them, okay. So we cannot break them, okay. You can see that the definition: the thing which does not have a bodily existence. This is the definition: the thing which does not have a bodily existence, okay, means the thing which does not have a physical existence. They are just states of minds. They are especially, you can say, connected to the mind. For example, when someone has one or many kinds of these nouns, then we can recognize the nouns by their expressions, okay, that impressions. Otherwise we cannot touch them or steal them or control them, okay. Like you can see the examples: wisdom, knowledge, beauty. Now wisdom is connected to the mind. We cannot steal someone's wisdom. We cannot touch it. There are many examples like this. You can say one is knowledge. Now we cannot say steal someone's knowledge or snatch. And exactly beauty is like that. And there are many examples like this. Beauty, foolishness, anger, and many more. So these are the things which are not touched, you can say, which are not seen. Okay, and you can say that we cannot steal them, we cannot touch them. Simply, you can say they are like software. In a computer, that they are like software. They are not touched, they are not made. Okay, that and you can say they are not repaired. Uh, for example, if it had been in someone's control, so he could have easily to remove his ugliness, or you can say if it had been in my control to steal someone's beauty, so I would have stolen that, and because if it had been in my control, so I would have stolen someone's knowledge, but I cannot do that because these are abstract nouns. They don't have physical existence. They are just connected to the mind. Okay. So now let's go to the fourth one. The fourth one is the concrete noun, or you can say material noun. Concrete noun, material noun, both are same, one thing. If you say that concrete noun, no problem. If you say material noun, no problem. Both are same. Okay. So now the concrete nouns are those things which have a bodily existence, which have a physical can say existence. We can touch them, we can steal them, we can say conceal them or hide them, we can break them. So and we can repair them with our hands. But those are not touched with hands. Actually, that abstract nouns, they are not touched. But these concrete nouns, you can say kind of concrete noun is the opposite of abstract noun. Abstract noun does not have a bodily existence, but concrete noun has a bodily existence, physical existence, which can be stolen, which can be repaired, which can be broken, and many more like that. So simple actually, because of the shortage of the place, I have written a little bit the definition in short, but I'm just already making you understand that this is the main thing. And now you can see the definition: the thing which has a bodily existence. Okay. Now look at the examples: rubber, iron, gold, leather, stone, cement, anything. Okay, that has a bodily existence. But sometimes they say that material noun, that the materials which produce something else. Say from cement and stone we can make the buildings, that constructions, and from leather we can make shoes and many things, you could say useful things for ourselves. And gold, we can make jewelry from the gold. Iron, we can make a lot of things from iron. So it is known actually. From also rubber we can make a lot of things. So sometimes they say that these are that material noun because of this, that we produce other things from them. That's why they are materials. You can say basic material, basic elements for those you can say productions. Okay. So I think you have understood it. Now let's go to the last one. You can say the collective noun. The collective noun. Now the collective noun is you can say a group of things, animals, or you can say uh, uh, things, animals, and people. Okay, is called collective noun. You can say a collection, a collection of people, a collection of things, a collection of animals is called a collective noun. Now, but remember one thing: a collection of people, or you can say collection of things, a collection of animals is considered one. A group, you can also understand that I'm saying a group. Now is a singular, okay, one thing, a group. But a group of people which is considered is one. Like if I say uh, the flock, the flock. Now flock is that a flock of birds. I saw a flock of birds here. You can say flying. So now I said or you can say that a flock of birds was flying. I didn't say that a flock of birds were flying. No, because I'm saying here it is a collective noun. It means a group of birds. Okay, was flying. So And the second example you can see. Look at the definition first. A group of things, animals, or people. Actually, as I told you before, that for the shortage of the place, that's why I've just defined it in short. Uh, because there weren't other places for the examples. That's why. But orally, I'm trying my best to make you understand, so that you should get them very well. So you see, flock, army, team, class, crowd, mob, herd, bundle, bunch, dozen, set, kit. Now, actually, I have written, in a lot of examples, for collective noun, because it's very difficult to find out the collective nouns. Actually, it's very difficult to figure out them, that what kind of nouns are they, and the examples. So that's why now I will, make them with examples so that you should understand very, very well. A flock of birds, an army of soldiers, a team of players, a class of students, a crowd of people, a mob of, you can say, attackers, or now you can see the difference here. A crowd is when some people get together to see something, a kind of accident or something, that's called a crowd. Okay, but mob is also a crowd, but that is for something else. When people get together to attack someone, to God forbid, someone's house, a kind of building or anything, that that damaging a property is called mob. When people are together, a group of people, you can say, is attacking someone's property, damaging someone's property, so that's called a mob. It's not a common crowd. It is especially for attacking. So there are actually different kinds of collective nouns, but I just wanted to differentiate between these two. That crowd is common, it is a gathering of people, but mob is for attacking something. And herd. Now herd, we say a herd of cows. When too many guys. Sorry, when too many cows. Guy actually came in my mouth because of Urdu word. I'm sorry. Because of too many. When too many cows are together, we say herd. A herd of cows. When I can say that we have that when too many the districts are together, or you can say they are tied together, so we call them a bundle of goods. And when too many keys are together, we say a bunch of keys. When too many bananas are together, okay, so especially 12 bananas are together, we say a dozen. A dozen of bananas, or you can say that, yeah, a dozen of anything can be. Now, set, sit. Sit, we say a set of dishes. When too many dishes are together, it's a set. Sometimes we say that a set of cups, a set of glasses. Okay, kit, kit. Now, kit, you can say a group of things. A kit of, you can say, cricket. A kit of cricket. Now, in that kit, you can say that the gloves are there, a bat is there, and you can say a ball is there, maybe wickets are there, or you can say the shirt is there, or you can say that those cricket pants are there, and many things. So this is called a kit. So you have understood them now. These are for groups actually. One bird cannot be a flock. One soldier cannot be an army. One player cannot be a team. One student cannot be a class. One person cannot be a crowd. Or you can say one person, you can say one attacker cannot be called a mob. And one cow cannot be called a herd. One stick, okay, so one wood cannot be called a bundle, and one, you can say, key cannot be called a bunch. One banana cannot be called a dozen. You can say one dish, one plate cannot be called a set. And one thing, you can say, whether it's a ball or bat or anything, cannot be called a kit. Okay, because these are group wise. These are groups, that's why they are called collective nouns. And there are many examples like this, but I have written just some of them. You can say there are many examples. You can say that uh, um, a bouquet of flowers. Another example I got now in my mind: a bouquet of flowers. And you can say a bunch of grapes, and yeah, many things like this. Even I don't remember them now at the time because there are a lot. Okay, so this is enough for today. Until the next meeting, stay tuned.